Well, I don't know if you've had this experience. You have a half hour to kill before you have to go to bed, and you absentmindedly pick up your phone and begin to scroll. And then somehow it's 1 a.m. and you've just spent the last 3 hours down Arousal Boulevard. Or you plan to spend an hour relaxing because, hey, you had a long day, and before you know it, the evening is shot, and you go, man, where did my evening go? Or you get up in the morning and go, today I'm going to get off to a good start. I'm going to start my healthy practices. But before I do, I just have to check out the news, see what's happening, or check out my messages. And all of a sudden, half hour, an hour is gone, and now you're behind, and all those morning activities are out the window, and you're now rushing to get on with your day. Or you have an afternoon off, and you hope to get to some project, or head out for a walk, or go to the gym. And before you know it, you spent your whole time on your phone or your computer in nowhere land. You know what? We probably all can relate to one of those sort of scenarios. And this is the idea. When is killing time actually killing me? Today we approach that topic on episode 203 of Finding Traction. Welcome aboard.
Ready?
When it comes to porn, are you stuck, spinning out, or slipping backwards in your life? If so, then welcome to the Finding Traction podcast, a show dedicated to those who are looking to gain recovery momentum away from porn and toward the life and relationships they have always hoped for. Now, here's your host, Vern Tomke.
Well, if you've been listening to this for any period of time or you're a brand new listener, let me say the best way to get more access to some of the resources I offer is to join the Circle Learning app. And on Circle, as you look at the show notes, you can get access to a whole bunch of different worksheets and documents. You can watch the first couple lessons of the Finding Traction learning video series. And it's just a great way for you to get more help in your journey of recovery. Let me say that if you are looking for help, I love to connect with guys. I do free Zoom calls with guys. We get together, hear a little bit more of your story. I also encourage guys to consider joining a Finding Traction group. If right now I've got, I think, 3 guys that are waiting to join a group, we would love 2 or 3 more guys. We'll pick a time. We will get together for an hour a week, and we'll walk through the Finding Traction material together. We'll also get connected on WhatsApp, and you can have essentially guys that you're traveling with for your first full year of recovery, and you can get help and support along the way. You cannot do this alone. And so for that or any other reason, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at bandofbrothers.care @gmail.com. All right, well, let's get back to this idea that killing time often ends up killing us. Let me start with an example from my week. I think many of you, if you've been listening to this for any period of time, know that usually a couple days a week, I go in. I used to be a high school teacher, and now I go in for 2 days a week usually, and I substitute teach at one of our local high schools. Sometimes I teach. I think I was able to teach in a couple social studies classes yesterday. But a few days ago, I had what I consider to be the perfect day. And that is when I'm called, and all I really am is a high-paid, glorified babysitter. Like when I get called to cover a day of computer classes. Why? Well, pretty obvious, right? Because all the students are on the computer. They're all working on their programs or their designs or whatever they're doing. And essentially, they're all engaged. They all take care of themselves. And all I really do is take attendance and sit there for 5 hours. Well, it's a great, easy day. but it poses a problem in this way. Sitting for 5 hours, doing nothing, killing time can get boring really quick. I mean, sure, I can work on some things, and I have things. I do my finances. Maybe I do some writing, like for this podcast. But after, 2.5, 3 hours, the dreaded B word starts to show up. I'm now getting bored. Now, the school always gives me a laptop when I show there in the morning, but I try never to take it out of the case, because usually I can just do the attendance on my own laptop. I can go online and do it that way. But I don't want to be on the school laptop, because when I am bored and when I'm on a laptop, any laptop, even a school laptop, it's a very tempting situation. Now, I would probably keep it safe. Obviously, I'm at school. But you know what? I know there's lots of low-grade things that I could watch that would get me in trouble. I mean, wouldn't get me in trouble for my job, but would get me in trouble for my recovery. And what I'm talking about, that's just one example, and the opening examples I gave, is this idea of killing time. The need to kind of kill time shows up whenever I don't have something to do, or I start getting restless. I start getting bored. I have a spare hour or two. And if you don't have a plan, what do we usually do? Well, we do what comes easiest to us. We hop on YouTube or some other similar online pursuit. And as we're killing time, just killing time, it's not long before we have this thought. I wonder if, or we see something go, well, that looks interesting. It wouldn't hurt if I just follow that for a little bit of a time. Or, which happens to me, I have some impulsive thought when I'm online, go, you know what? I wonder who that actress was, on the show me and my wife were watching last night. Now, I'm not going to say to my wife, gee, I wonder who that actress is. But now, in the quiet of this moment, when I'm killing time, the thought comes to me, gee, I would really like to learn some more about her, right? And I know this happens for you too. I'm not saying, well, Vern, how could you? This is what happens when we are killing time in an unsafe environment. Just doing what comes next when we're restless or bored almost always gets us into trouble. So one of the things I say, and I work with guys when we're talking about being successful, is just be more skillful in how you're killing your time. What are you doing? What do you do when you have those moments? How do you take control? If you just, water just runs downhill, and so does our thoughts and so does our behaviors over time. If we just, like the old days when you used to drive a stick, if you wanted to save gas, which isn't a bad idea these days, you could just, you come to a long hill, you could just put it in neutral. Now, I know everything's automatic these days, but work with me. You older guys know what I'm talking about. You just put it in neutral and you just roll down the hill. Or like when your red light gas thing is on and you're trying to get to the next gas station. But that never works with time. That always gets us in trouble, doesn't it? And so I say to guys, you have to think about, what are you going to do the next time you're restless? What are you going to do the next time you have an hour or two to kill? What is your plan? Oh, I'm just going to hop on my phone. Or here's a classic one. Guys say, I'm going to spend the next hour seeing if I can find a way around my computer filter. Or I can find a back door. Well, that's really skillful, right? And if you're bound and determined to find something, you're going to find something. I don't care what you have on your computer or what you have on your phone. So how do you take control over that just idea of, me time, killing time, restless time? So here are some ideas that I try, that I do that work for me. They may, you might learn from them. You might have your own solutions for this. So the first thing that I do is I have some low-tech non-digital ways to kill time. For example, I have about 50 crossword puzzles that I have on a clipboard that I take with me wherever I go when I teach. And I get them off USA Today and I print them out, and they're just about my skill level. I'm not smart enough to do the New York Times crossword like my son does, but I just do the USA Today, and I get them about 70, 80% of the time, which gives me that intermittent reinforcement I want. So I always have a crossword puzzle, and a pencil that's ready for when I have time to kill. I also always have a fiction book necessary. Now, some of you serious dudes out there, you got to start reading fiction. I mean, I know guys that only read nonfiction. You got to learn the skill of reading a good spy novel or a murder mystery. I mean, I love historical fiction, Ken Follett, Bernard Cornwell. I love murder mysteries. I've got 2 Stephen King novels. I'm not a horror guy, but he's got some great other novels. His one on time travel and the assassination of JFK is brilliant. The show's okay. But I've always got a good fiction book. Some of you are more into pulp fiction like Westerns or whatever, but have something available. So when I was at school the other day and sitting in a computer lab, and I started to get that bored feeling, I'd done whatever my motivation for the day, it was now running out, and you know what that feels like. Okay, I don't really want to write anything. I don't want to do anything that feels like work. So what I did is I pulled out my novel and I worked on my crossword puzzle. And then, before it was, that got me through the last class and made it through my day where killing time didn't kill me. So number 1, have some low-tech, non-digital ways of killing time. Now, if you need your tech time, and I know that a lot of you younger guys grew up playing video games. Let me just say, I am an empty nester now. I don't have to worry about young boys looking over my shoulder as I play violent video games. So if I am killing zombies, because you can't really make friends with zombies. I'm trying to remember the name of one of my favorite zombie video games, but I'll think of it. But I love open world games, Red Dead Redemption, Far Cry, Horizon Zero Dawn. And I will have those games. Even better, some of these games, I'm playing Far Cry Primal for the second time. And there's all of these little quests and treasures you got to find. And I've been playing that game for months. So if I have an hour or 2 to kill and I'm not in the mood to do a crossword or read, I will play a safe, and I know there's some that aren't safe, but I know the ones that are safe. I will play a safe video game to kill an hour or 2, right? And it's something that I do, it's available, and it's enjoyable for me. And again, I am saving up for a PS5. I got a PS4 right now, but my game is my console. We've got a password on it, so I can play my video games, but I can't go on the internet, which is perfect for me, right? Killing time is not killing Vern. So that's part of it. And the last one, I would say this: if you are going to engage with open, social media, let's just start with YouTube. That's kind of not, it's kind of social media, but most people see that a little bit different. But for example, with social media, I removed all of my YouTube shorts. I talked about that on a different episode. I just put an extension on. You can find them easily. And all my shorts don't show up. So I don't have, so when I go to YouTube, I am usually only subject to my algorithm, which is safe. And I'm going to specific YouTube videos. And but shorts I find get me in trouble, so I've removed those. So if I'm going to do that, then I have that. I don't go to other ones that I'm going to get things that all of a sudden get me into trouble. Time limits are really important. The Freedom app can be really good that way. I know people that put it like a half-hour limit or a 15-minute limit so they can maybe check out what their kids are sending them. That's another good way of doing it. See, here's what I know, and I would encourage you. We got to get good on this. Even when I have a short period of time and I'm on an open social media thing or I'm checking news out, I will have this moment when all of a sudden I will have this impulse. I will see something. I will begin to feel a little bit restless on the computer. And that is my sign, time to get off. I cannot do this. For some of you, you shouldn't even go on because it always leads you down that rabbit hole. I'm at a point where I immediately know, okay, I'm done. I need to be done. It's like walking on a lake that's frozen or a pond that's frozen, and all of a sudden you hear the ice begin to crack. You go, okay, I got to get back to thicker ice. You have to get good. I have to get good. We have to get good at going. I have to get better at killing time, because killing time, the boredom that comes with it, the boredom that precipitates it, ends up killing me. And I end up being on the receiving end of a broken recovery. As a politician recently said, if you're not sitting at the table, then you are on the menu. So I think that really is good advice when it comes to killing time. So there we go, episode 203. Learn to kill time in a good way before it ends up killing you. We'll see you next time.